Rebuilding the Lighthouse of Alexandria. The $1.5 billion beacon. For over 1,000 years, its light pierced the Mediterranean night. A gleaming tower of stone and fire that guided ships into the greatest port on Earth. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, or the Pharos, wasn't just a beacon. It was a symbol of power, science, and human brilliance. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the ancestor of every lighthouse we know today. But what would it take to rebuild it now? And how much would it cost to bring that legendary light back to life? The lighthouse was built around 280 BC on the small island of Pharos off the coast of Egypt. Commissioned by Ptolemy I and completed under his son Ptolemy II, it was designed by the Greek architect Sostratus of Cnidus. At the time, Alexandria was the intellectual capital of the world, home to the great library, scholars, and explorers. The Pharos stood as its crown jewel, the world's first skyscraper, a monument of light and learning. The structure rose in 3 grand tiers: a square base, a central octagonal tower, and a circular top where a fire blazed every night. At its summit, a polished bronze mirror reflected sunlight during the day, sending a beam visible for over 30 miles across the sea. Ancient sailors called it a miracle of geometry and fire, a man-made star guiding them safely home. The lighthouse stood about 350 to 400 feet tall, making it one of the tallest structures of the ancient world. It survived for centuries, enduring earthquakes and storms until it finally crumbled into the sea between the 12th and the 14th centuries. Today, fragments of its foundation and statues lie scattered on the seafloor near Alexandria's harbor, the last whispers of an ancient beacon. Now imagine rebuilding it with modern technology. Engineers today could not only recreate the lighthouse, they could surpass it. The first challenge would be the foundation. Building on Pharos Island surrounded by water requires massive structural stabilization. Engineers would begin with deep-sea geotechnical drilling, anchoring reinforced concrete piles into the bedrock to resist tides and earthquakes. Advanced seawalls and corrosion-resistant coatings would protect the structure from saltwater erosion. Just this phase alone could cost more than $150 million. Next, the tower itself. The original limestone and granite could be replaced by ultra-high-performance concrete faced with Egyptian marble, maintaining the classical look while ensuring durability. A hybrid steel and carbon fiber frame would provide strength against wind and seismic pressure. The reconstruction could rise even taller than the original, perhaps 400 to 450 feet, reclaiming its title as one of the tallest ancient-style monuments ever built. At the top, instead of fire and polished bronze, the new Pharos could use a solar-powered optical beacon, an LED system bright enough to be seen 40 miles away. It could operate entirely on renewable energy, symbolizing humanity's evolution from firelight to sustainable technology. Inside, the lighthouse could be transformed into a museum and observatory. Visitors could ascend glass elevators through its spiraling interior, past exhibits on ancient navigation, astronomy, and the history of Alexandria. The top floor could feature a panoramic deck with transparent floors, revealing the ruins of the original lighthouse beneath the waves. So how much would it all cost? Between the foundations, materials, technology, and labor, experts estimate a total of $1.3 to $1.5 billion, comparable to the budget of a modern super skyscraper or a national museum complex. But money isn't the only measure. The lighthouse was never just about guiding ships. It was about guiding civilization. Proof that knowledge could illuminate the world. Rebuilding it today could serve as a new symbol for Egypt's connection to science and heritage. It could stand beside the Great Library's revival, a beacon of education, technology, and unity. In a time when humanity faces new kinds of darkness, from misinformation to environmental threats, the rebirth of the Pharos could remind us of what light truly means. And from an engineering standpoint, the project could set new global records. Architects could integrate seismic isolators, AI-controlled maintenance drones, and smart glass facades that change color with the sun. The light at the top could be a fusion of art and science, a programmable laser reflecting off water vapor to mimic the ancient fire's dance in the sky. Underneath the lighthouse, a submerged archaeological gallery could preserve the real ruins, viewable through underwater tunnels or glass domes. History and innovation, side by side. But perhaps the most important reason to rebuild isn't technological, it's emotional. The Lighthouse of Alexandria stood as a promise that no matter how vast the sea or dark the night, humanity would always find a way to create light. To rebuild it would not only honor the past, but ignite a future where wonder, creativity, and curiosity shine once again. Because even after 2,000 years, the Pharos still calls to us. Its light may have gone out, but its message never did. Rebuilding it wouldn't just cost $1.5 billion. It would remind the world that enlightenment is priceless. A new beacon for a new age, the Lighthouse of Alexandria reborn,